If you would like to learn how to mix custom colors, then you are in the right place, and I'm about to show you. Hi, I'm Becca from Becca Harkins Art. If you are anything like me and you're just starting out with acrylic pouring, you might not want to invest a whole lot of money until you know if you really like it. When I was first starting, I just purchased a few tubes of color that I thought were basic colors, and then I learned how to mix my own colors so that I could get the colors that I wanted without having to buy every type of paint, every brand of paint, lightnesses and darkness and shades and hues and tones. And today I am going to be doing a painting that is a variation of this one. This one I did last week and I put it up on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to see the creation of this video, you can click on the link right here. Somebody commented that they love the painting, but it wouldn't go in their house because they decorate in more neutral colors, which gave me the idea to do this same type of painting, but in more neutral tones, which is the perfect opportunity for me to walk you through the process and how I'm going to custom mix my colors. In order to get the same feeling for the painting, I'm going to be starting with the exact same bright, happy, vibrant rainbow colors that I used in that painting, but I'm going to tone them down so they're all a little bit more earthy. Then for the background, I'm going to create a variety of whites and beiges and warm grays. I'm thinking maybe a hint of a pinkish kind of beige color too for the flip cup background. And I'm really excited about this one. I think it has the potential to be really beautiful. So if you would like to learn how to mix custom colors, then you are in the right place, and I'm about to show you. Sound like fun? Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing that you're gonna need are your basic colors that you're going for. I like to start with whatever color is, I would call the color. So for instance, if I'm going for a really muted red, I would start with a red or a pink. In this case, it's more of like a magenta. And then I would just start adding the opposite color on the color wheel to it. So I've got some empty cups here ready for mixing. I have got my color wheel for reference. And when I say that I'm mixing the opposite color on the color wheel, I am going to be mixing the complementary color. So for instance, this color here is Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta. On the color wheel, that falls right about here. So right directly across from it on the color wheel is this light green color. So I'm going to start out with my red color, and then I'm going to add the color that is opposite on the color wheel to tone it down and make it a little bit more brown, a little bit more earthy. I also have some Liquitex Basics white, titanium white, which I always keep on hand. I also really like to use when mixing custom colors is, this is Amsterdam Titanium Buff Light. Liquitex makes a color, I think it's called Unbleached Titanium. And of course, I need to keep my refills of Floetrol on hand because as I add more pigment, I also need to add some more Floetrol. So I'm going to move these paints out of the way so you have a clear view of what I'm doing, and then we'll get started. And I'm going to start with red and then just work my way down the rainbow. Okay, first thing I want to tell you is this cup is, I know it's dirty, but that's on the outside. The inside is cleaned out, so it'll be fine. Don't worry about that. I like to reuse and recycle my cups as much as I can. All right, brought you in for a close-up, and I'm just gonna start by adding some of this color. And then, as I said, I'm going to add the opposite color on the color wheel, which is this light green permanent color. And I'm gonna add just a little bit at a time and then mix it to see what I get. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So I hope you can see this color as it's mixing. Okay, that bit of green didn't do too much to it, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Gonna mix it up. One thing to note is right now these paints are pre-mixed with Floetrol and water. So if I only use these paints, I don't need to add probably any more Floetrol or water, and they're gonna blend together really easily. See that? See how that's starting to get more muted compared to this color? It's like darker and a little bit more earth toned. I'm gonna keep going. Keep adding some more green, keep mixing. It is really, really starting to get dark. So I am not a huge fan of the darkness of this color. So I am going to, you know what, I already have some Liquitex mixed up with the Floetrol. So I'm gonna add just a smidge of that and see. Okay. Just a little bit of that to see how that lightens it up. You can start to see that, the big difference there. It's getting a little bit lighter, a little bit more muted. So you can see the difference there. I don't know, can you see the difference? Can you see the difference there? I can tell that it's much more muted. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more green because I really, really want this to be very earthy, not bright or vibrant like the other ones were. There we go. What do we think of that color? Still a little bit dark? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Add a little more white to that. Okay, so one thing that I'm thinking about is that the acrylic colors tend to dry darker, so that's why I'm adding a little bit more white. This is lighter probably than I actually would want it to dry, but I know that it's going to dry darker, so I'm kind of offsetting it that way. Isn't that a pretty color? That pretty mauve color? So I want to show you these two colors side by side so you can see exactly where we started. With a bright, vibrant magenta and where we got to. Okay, so here's a dot of our bright magenta, and then here is a dot of the mauve, and you can see that that is just a, I don't know, it's just like a really sophisticated color. It's soft and inviting, and I mean that's a pretty color too, but I've been going for more muted colors. That is the perfect color right there. So there we go. We've got our magenta mixed up, and now we're going to move on to orange. Just start out by adding some of our orange in there. I think I got, yes, there is a blob of paint. Don't want any clumps, no way. So we've got a bit of orange in there, can you see that? And I said I was gonna offset that with this cyan color. Turquoise, whatever you wanna call it. And look at that, like just a little tiny bit. And that orange, okay. I went too far, that was too much. Look at that, it's like mud. So let's add some orange back in there. Gonna add quite a bit of orange because tiny little bit of that cyan really took over. Oh, look, it almost looks like that color. Look at that. They're so similar. This color, this this color is not going to work for me. I am going to add, this is a custom color that I mixed up a few weeks ago, I believe. And it's a really, really bright, vibrant red orange. And I'm going to add some of this. See if I can offset the fact that I added too much cyan to this color combination. I mean, as you can see too, it's just really a lot of trial and error. Okay, we're getting closer to the orange family. That is still brown, but closer to orange. Oh no, another clump. That happens sometimes when you use paints that have been sitting around. Okay, here we go. Getting closer to the orange color. And I am going to add a little bit of white to this one too, because I just want to lighten it up a bit. Oh goodness, I hope that wasn't too much. No, it's fine. Can you see that? So I'm mixing it up. Oh yeah, that's pretty. There we go, we did it. It's really a lot of trial and error. You just have to have the basic understanding of color theory and get yourself a good color wheel to reference. If you want to go muted, just add the opposite color, the complementary color, on your color wheel and take it slow, just a little bit at a time to see how much you need. And you'll get yourself there. So let's do a side-by-side comparison with these colors. Technically, we started with this bright orange, although we did add some of that red orange in, and that's where we ended up. So that is a bit of a brown color, but it definitely has a lot of orange undertones to it. And I think that looks really pretty. I think this color and that color look really nice together. Okay, moving on to yellow. We are going to start out with, this one is Liquitex Cadmium Yellow Hue. Keep myself organized here. I'm going to start with a bit of this. And then looking at my color wheel here, the color opposite to this color is purple. I have this custom color mix purple laying around. I do not want to add straight dioxazine purple, which is the purple I usually use because I believe it'll be way too dark. So I'm gonna just add this really soft muted purple to the yellow and see where we get with that. There we go. That didn't take much at all. There's kind of like a that's a really like mustardy 70s yellow. Would you agree? But when you start to look at these colors together, you can start to see, you know, they really are gonna go nicely together. So that one was, gosh, I think we hit the nail on the head right away. I'm gonna show you the original yellow color, and then a dot of this. Let's see what that looks like. So we've got our red, orange, and yellow, very muted. Next up, we've got Liquitex Light Green Permanent. Okay, so we've got green. I would say that we are closer to this green than this green. So jumping to the opposite side of the color wheel, I am going to add the Quinacridone Magenta. This color is pretty, it's pretty strong too, so I'm just gonna add a little bit because I don't want to make the same mistake that I made with cyan. Just add a little bit and then I'm gonna mix it in and see where we get with this here. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need some more. Another thing that I recommend is writing down when you mix custom colors, write them down. I don't measure, I just get a basic idea. I would say I do about 1 part magenta to about 4 parts green. Now, looking at this green with the other colors, it's pretty close, but it's a little bit much. It's a little bit too bright. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to it. I don't know if that's gonna fix it. I might need to add some of the, whoopsie, some of the titanium buff to this color. Because it's just, see, that's just like too, maybe add a little bit more of this now. That looks like avocado. What do you think? Think that's about right? I want to make sure you can see what's going on here. We've got our green, our bright green dot, and then our pretty sage green dot. See how this is coming along? Very nice. I like it. For my rainbow colors, I did not use purple. I went with this turquoise color next, and then this cerulean blue after that, which is a little bit more of a purple blue. I just left, I don't know why, I love purple, but for this one, I just didn't want to use the exact rainbow. It's like the idea of a rainbow. So the next color we have is this turquoise. And looking at the opposite side of the color wheel, we added some turquoise to the orange, and I'm gonna add that red orange to this turquoise to go in the other direction. And I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous because combining these colors before went like straight to mud. And I'm afraid that it's gonna do that again. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna go easy here. Okay, okay. Not too bad. Oh, that's actually, oh, that's a pretty color. See, this is what I do. I mix these colors and then I just stumble across something that is just, oh, that's so nice. It's too bright for what we have here. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this red orange to it. Oh gosh, I hope that wasn't too much. Oh, that color. The color is so pretty. Oh, let me show you what else I use. Whenever I'm mixing custom blues, I love to throw some of this in there. This is Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold made by Golden. And this color is fantastic for mixing in with other blues and purples just to kind of mute them a little bit, and a little goes a long way. So I'm gonna add a little bit in here. That was like 4 drops. And oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. I just can't get enough of like teal colors. Any teal. I don't think there's a teal that I don't like, but this one is oof. That's really nice. Do you like this color? And one more color, and that is the Cerulean blue. Nope, yes, it's Cerulean blue. And this is a blue, I hope that you can see these colors. The turquoise has more green in it, and this has more red purple in it. So it's really a very different tone when it comes up on the canvas, even though they're both kind of in the blue family. And I may end up adding some more purple to this just to make sure that it stands out enough from that turquoise color. Isn't that a pretty blue color? All right, so coming in here on the color wheel, this blue falls more in this family. So jumping across would be orange. It's a little bit purpley, so we'll go with this brighter orange. So I'm going to mix it in with this, the cadmium orange hue, and see what we get. And you can see this cerulean blue is an opaque color and the orange is semi-transparent. So when I mixed that orange in, it did like nothing. So the transparent colors have more of a tendency to hide themselves under the opaque colors. And it may take more paint to actually make that transformation. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of this magenta in here to just run a little closer to that purple family. Oh yeah, this is coming along. As you can see, it's taking quite a bit of orange, and I just like to mix a little bit at a time so that I don't overdo it the way I did with the orange and the turquoise. Oh my goodness, that color. That color is so pretty. I'm gonna add a little orange, and then I'm gonna add a little white to this one too to lighten it up just a little bit. Okay, that is a little bit too bright for my liking, so I'm also going to add some of this Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 drops, so you can see it doesn't take a lot. I know it's expensive, but it doesn't take a whole lot to make a big difference. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a nice chalky blue color. It's a little bit too chalky, even though I knew it will dry darker. Oh, there we go. Oh yes, that's so pretty. I love colors. I love mixing colors. I don't know if you're like me. When I get stressed out, sometimes I just come into my studio and just mix colors. For some reason, it really helps me feel calm. It's like, I view acrylic painting as like the artist dancing with the paints. Like there's a give and a take, and there's a balance there, and there's a respect for each to find the most beautiful combination of paints and work with what's there and find the beauty in it. Okay, we've got one more dot, and I ran out of room, so unfortunately I have to go below here. Hope you can see that. I'll go this way. And our custom color. Oh, so pretty. I'm very excited to do this. Hope you can see all the colors here. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, teal, and blue, purple. Well, chalky blue. Isn't that lovely? Oh, yes, I think that's going to be really pretty. I'm going to put it on a really light background. And this is going to be like a muted, soft, inviting earth tones rainbow palette. I hope that you enjoyed today's mixing tutorial. If you found it helpful, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss another one, and stay tuned for the painting video that will be coming up next.